Hi, and welcome to another class in React. Today we're going to do a to-do app, but with React hooks, like with a modern way to make without classes. We're going to use functions, a lot of functions components. So let's start. Here I have initialized my app, so I will delete some files that are useless for now. It broke my app, but here I have to erase this and to delete this, and here I can write to do app with React hooks and save it, and yes, everything is working fine. So let's small this. Okay, so for making a to-do app, I'm gonna need an input here and a list here, and inside the list every to-do is going to have a component. So let's do it just like this. For example, input to do, this is going to be the component to input all our to-dos. If I save, it's going to break because there is no component yet. Input to do JS, put RFCE, that's a snippet, that's a very cool snippet. Okay, and here I'm going to make an input very quickly, maybe a placeholder, at right at to do, and here a button. I'm going to make this submit, and I'm going to make this. I'm going to use this as a form because it's better this way to submit data. Okay, I'm going to import this, just erase the last letter and put it, and it's going to appear here. Is also a nice trick. I'm going to make also a component for the list. For example, to do list, and I'm going to save it for to don't break the app. Here I'm going to make the component RFCE, and I'm going to put it like a title called to-do list, or list of to-dos, I don't know, and that's it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to import it here just like the previous one, and that's it. Okay, so to start with the app, I'm going to make like I'm going to make here some default data in this dummy data called const to dos. It's going to be an array of some objects. It's going to have like an ID and a name, the name of the to do you're going to write. Write a book, maybe. We can name this go to the gym. Okay, here is like this. Name here is study React Redux, maybe. Okay, that's it. So we've got some to-dos some some data we can pass through our app. So I'm going to make this. I'm going to put all this data here, and I'm going to pass it like props. Sorry, this is to-dos. I'm going to pass all the to-dos as a prop, and here in list I'm going to catch it here. To-dos, this is the structure, so here I can use it. I can make this to-dos. I'm going to map it, and for every to-do I'm gonna make another component like this. I'm going to make it to do. I'm going to be very quickly. So here I'm going to pass the information that is here to our individual to do. So I'm going to import it, and then I'm going to make this and catch the data I put here. I'm going to bring it here, and maybe I can, because every to do in here has an ID and a name, so I'm going to print the name, sorry, to do that name, and I'm going to see if it is working. Yes, it is working absolutely fine. So that's the way you pass data through components. So you can have a lot of components, and you can pass it through here as props, this to do as props. Then you get it here, and you again pass it through another component to the to-dos, and here you print it. So it's working fine. But what if I want to print here what I write here? Okay, let's see that. This is happening in the to-do input component. So here I'm going to need an state that catches what I write here, and that is going to be called name. For example, set name. I'm going to use a state hook, and I'm going to import it here. And to take what I write here, I'm going to use this way. I'm going to link this input to this state with this value, and I'm going to put the same state like this. And to grab what I write in the input, I'm going to make this. This takes an event, and what I take in this event, I'm going to save in the name state with set name, and what I write in the input is target value. To see if everything is working fine, I'm going to console log, and I'm going to see if name is being catch well. F12 to see the console, to see the console in the navigator. So here I'm going to write something like wash. Yes, it's working absolutely fine. we see here. Okay, I'm going to delete this because I don't need it anymore. I'm going to here I'm going to make an unsubmit to submit to save what I write here to our state that is in here. So what I write here, I'm going to save it here, like every other to do. To make this, I'm going to make here a function called maybe handle submit. I'm going to declare it here. Is an event, and to prevent that it refreshes all the page, I'm going to put here prevent default. So here I will need to make something like this, like add to do, and here I want to put here what I wrote here, like this, but I have to have this function that saves in my app. So here I will declare it, and I'm going to pass it like a pro, just like we did with these to-dos. I'm going to pass a function that saves what I write here in my input to my state of to-dos. So here, this add to do takes a name as a parameter. So here this is not going to be like just a simple variable of to-dos. I'm going to use set state for that. Set to-dos, so I can modify my state, and here I'm going to use state. Here is like this, and I'm going to import my use state hook. Okay, here I'm going to use my set to do's, and what I'm going to make is I want to save the name, so I'm going to make like I'm going to put here an array, because this is an array, and I'm going to grab all my to-dos so they don't overwrite. And here I'm going to push like an object that is the name I am taking here from the input, and I'm going to also generate like an ID, and to make an ID to generate one, I'm going to use this little trick that is taking the value of my date of like the now, like the present moment. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to pass this just like I did with my to-dos. Add to do as add to do. Now I can use it in my input, but I have to call it here, add to do. Now I can use my add to do, and that's it. I think it's going to work now. Let's see. Maybe cut the grass. Okay, it's not a function. Why is it not? Why is it not a function? Ah, okay. Okay, I'm. This is not. This is not here. This is here. Okay. Cut the grass. Yes, it's working absolutely fine. I'm going to add another one. Maybe cut my hair. Cut my here. Cut my hair. Yes, it's working fine. But here, it's happening that what I wrote is staying here. So what we want is when we add some to do, here is going to reset to blank. So here I'm going to use, so because this is happening when I handle this submit, it's going to be right here. To reset this, I'm going to use this set name to make the state of my input back to null, back to empty string. Let's see. Cut my hair. And yes, it's working fine. Okay. And now I will want to maybe, what if I want to delete my to do? So every to do has to have his own delete button. So here in to do, I'm going to add a button that is delete, for example. Let's save, and now here everyone has his own button. But to make this a little more, to visualize this better, I'm going to add here that. Okay, I am making this as a simple app, so you can grab the functionality. So I'm not going to focus on the CSS. Okay, here the button, when you click it, is going to maybe have this function delete to do, but to know what to do, I want to delete, maybe like this. You are going to take the specific ID of the to do you want to delete. So here, for example, you want to grab this to do ID. And here I can declare this function delete that is taking this ID. This is like the representation of this, so this can be named whatever you want, this to do ID or ID, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here I will want to, just like this, just like we did with input to do, we had an add to do function from the app. So here I want to declare another function called delete to do, for example, that grabs the ID. What this does is maybe grab all the to dos and filter them. And what this says is that from my array of to-dos, I want to remain. Filters is like saying I want to remain with the to-dos that follow this condition, and that condition will be that if for every ID of the to-dos, I want to remain with the ones that are different from the ID I am passing here. Do you understand? So from the array of to-dos, I want to remain with the to-dos that their ID are different from the ID I am passing here when I click this. That's the logic. That's the simple logic. And this I will want to pass it also like a prop, as a prop to the to-do, but to-do is like here in the to-do list. Like this, and it is you have to bring it here, delete to do, and then pass it again here, and then finally we can have it here, delete to do. So finally I can use it here, but it's called the same as this. So to don't confuse, I'm going to change the name of this. Delete. I'm going to make it like this. Okay, now I can use my delete to do, and my delete to do is just need this ID that I have passed it here. Okay, I think it's going to work. Yes, it's working absolutely fine. Yes. Okay, right. Here I've got an error. That is, if you look down here, it is in the to-do list, in the line 9, to-do list 9. Yes, so here, when you map an array of elements, you will also have to pass them a key, so you have to indicate React that every to-do has to have his own unique ID. So because every element has to be unique. So here you can use the to-do ID, and that's it. Every to-do is correctly identified. So, you know, it's tedious when you right here and you save a to-do, but when you refresh it like goes away. So we'll want to need like a little database. To make it practical, I'm going to use something that is called local storage, that is here in your application, and it is here. So it's like a little database that you can use. To use it, I'm going to go to our app here, and this local storage needs like a key to access it. It can be named whatever you want, maybe local storage key or 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 whatever you want to name it. And here the key is going to be also whatever you want, maybe key to do's. And to make use of local storage, I'm going to call here this React hook that is called use effect. Use effect is used to fire some function whenever you want it to be called. So let's see, whenever we want to save here, you can use local storage and you can use set item. And here you have to make use of this key to access the local storage, and here you have to pass the to-dos. But local storage just saves in string format, so you should do this JSON.stringify to convert all our array of JSON into strings. So that's when this is happening, when our to-dos is being updated. So here I have to put to-dos. So once again, when is this happening? When I am setting an item is when my to-dos is being changed or modified. So when I add a new to-do, this is going to be fire. It's going to save our to-do into the local storage. So now we need another use effect when we want to get our data and render here, and that is going to be when all the app is rendered every time. So here I'm going to, is almost the same, but it's a little more complicated. I'm going to get item. I'm going to use this function get item. Also, it's going to need the local storage, and that's it. But because this is being saved in a string format, you will have to pass it to, you're going to use JSON parse. Okay. Now it's better if you save all of this into a variable called storage to do, maybe, or storage to do, and if there is no to do's in the app, here I'm going to make this. This is saying if there are any to do's, then you will set to do's equal to the local storage. Okay, we have to import here the use effect, save, and okay, let's see if it is happening. Because we are passing to do's already here, we don't have to do anything else. But what about make this empty, so we can save some new. Okay, I think this is being saved in the app already, but let's see if it is working. Cut the grass. Okay, I'm going to refresh, and yes, this is working absolutely fine. Now it is saving my to-dos, and whenever I refresh, it doesn't go away. Okay. Now, what if I add another functionality to my to-do? So whenever I complete a task, it is indicated that it is complete. This is going to happen in my to-do, just like delete to-do. I need an input, but this time is type check. This time is a check. Let's see. Okay, checkbox. This. So whenever my task is completed, this is going to have like a line here, like a line through, and we're going to make it happen. Okay. Just like we did with the delete to do and the add to do, here I'm going to pass a function through the app that is called, but here okay, here is going to be check to do. I think and it also is going to need the ID. And the logic behind this is a little like this. You grab all the to-dos and you go through every to-do, and for every to-do you are going to make this. So if I check this, it's going to grab the ID. So if the to-do is if whatever to do you grab the ID, and if it is equal to the ID I am passing here that I am checking, you're going to make this. You're going to make this complete completed. This you will want to declare it here, so you will have everything clear. Completed. Okay, so here I'm going to, this is a little wrong. This is return. This is like this, but this is going to be the specific to do. From the to do, you're going to grab the completed value and make it the opposite. Okay, you're going to catch this, and but wait, then if this to do, if the one to do I am checking is equal to one of the to-dos of this array, you're going to like toggle its completed value. And if for all the rest, what you're going to do is this. So this is okay. Else you're going to return the to do as it is. Okay, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to pass it to the to-do list, just like we did with delete to do. I'm going to pass it. Okay. To-do list. I'm going to pass it. I'm going to pass it here too. And finally, we can use it here. So whenever we click, it's going to fire this function that is called maybe toggle to do. It's going to pass also a to do ID. And here I'm going to declare this function, just like we did here. Const toggle to do is going to grab the ID I am pass it here, and I can use this check to do finally. Check to do ID. Okay, but the style of making a line through here is not declared yet whenever we click. So here I'm going to make the style, and it's going to be, this is text decoration. So whenever it's going to be like this, to do dot completed, if it is true, I'm going to use this symbol that says whenever it is, you're going to make whatever is here. You're going to pass this class. Let's see if it is working. Okay, here I've got an error that I didn't see, is that I was overwriting everything, and here I have to put the state of the to do is like to don't overwrite it. So now I think it is working fine. We have to make again our apps, study React, cut the grass, take the garbage out, and now we're going to make to see if it is working. Okay, it is working fine. Yes. Okay. Okay, so now let's make something that is a little more complicated, that is the edit functionality. So let's begin. Let's not think about it. Let's not think about how hard it is. Let's just do it. Here I'm going to put a button called edit. Here I'm going to make this like edit to do, and I'm also going to grab the ID. Let's save. You have to declare the function at least, so it doesn't have an error. Let's do. Okay, so whenever I put this edit to do, is going to grab the specific ID of this to do, and what are you going to do with that? Just like we made before we declare functions here that we pass through the components, and we link all our app. So here I'm going to make like a function called edit to do, that grabs the ID. I will need like another state called maybe to do edit, and here set to do edit. It's going to be like just like this, but only an object. So here is where I want to save my to-do that I want to edit and use it here. That's why I am doing another specific state for that. So you're going to use that state to save the new to do, and that is like this. You're going to grab all the to-dos and you're going to find the one object that is the one that has this to do, and that is like this. All right. With that, you are saving in this state, the one to do that you are editing, that you have chose to edit. Let's see if it is working. Let's pass this edit to our list, just like we did before. Then this is going to be passed here, then is passed here, and here, and now we can use it here. And let's see if it is working. And here I want to console log out, console log my to do edit, or maybe it can be here. It can be anywhere. I think here. Okay, let's see in our console. For now it's an empty object, but here I put edit, and yes, it is grabbing perfectly our to do. So now that we know it is working, I'm going to delete this, and the next thing we want to do is to fill this with this to do I am editing. For that, I'm going to go to, I'm going to need this, I'm going to need this state, so I'm going to pass it here. I'm going to need it in my input. Okay, then I'm going to go to my input, and I'm going to bring it here. All right, then I'm going to use unused effect. So whenever there is an edit to do, is going to fire. So whenever there is a to do edit, is going to fire an action, and that action is going to be to fill this. And to fill this, you control it with set name, and that is going to be to do edit, but just the name. Let's see if it is working. But this will only happen if there is a to do edit. Let's see. Okay, it is grabbing perfectly fine the state of the edit to do, but now I want to change it, and when I click this, it's going to be in the same spot with the same ID but with the name change. So to control this, I want to make use of my handle submit. This happens when I just add a new to do. So I'm going to make like a conditional. If there is a to do edit, it means that I am editing, and whenever there is no, it's going to be a to do function. So here I need another function like this, but with edit to do, and it's going to be an object that has an ID, but it has to be the same ID of this to do edit, because we want to have the same ID that we just clicked here, and it's going to have the name we are passing, the new name we are writing here. So I will need another function. Here it is edit to do. So imagine I have done it. Up. Okay. Oh no. Here you have to name it another. And editing to do, maybe. Editing to do. Editing to do. And it has, okay, here it's not going to be like this. It's going to be like this. We're going to pass the ID of this to do edit and the new name. And here we're going to grab the to do, the new name and the ID. And here you're going to make something like this. Set to do's. You're going to map. So you're going through every to do, and just like we make something similar like this. If to do is equal to the ID we are passing, then I'm going to return to do. The ID will be the ID I am passing here. And the name is going to be the name I have passed also. Yes, it is fine. And if not, just return the to do. I think it's going alright. Here I have to pass it, just like we did before. Editing to do, I have to pass it to the list to do. Then I have to pass it here. Then pass it here. And then that's it. React hooks. I'm going to editing to do is not a function. Okay, I have confused here. This editing to do has to be here. Editing to do in the input. Okay, let's see if it is working now. React hooks. What is happening? I had an error because here it was an empty object and it has to be null. So now it's working absolutely fine. See, React hooks. Okay, it is working fine. But here when I edit, it says add, and we'll want it to say edit. So let's see how we can fix this. Input to do. Input to do, here when I can use something that is called conditional rendering, and you can do this like this. Whenever there is a to do edit, if there is to do edit, then you will the button will say edit to do, and if not, it will say add. Let's see, edit. Okay, edit to do. Then you edit it, but it doesn't come again to add. Why it is happening? Because there is still a to do edit state that is happening. So we'll want to go to our app, and here in the editing to do, we'll want to like reset our edit to do to null. After all these set to dos, I wanted to set edit set to do edit. No. Yes, set to do edit to null again. Okay, let's see. Edit React Redux. Yeah, now it's working absolutely fine, and it goes like this when it's completed, and it goes like this when it's completed. It deletes, and when you refresh, everything is working fine. When you edit, it is working just fine. Okay, so that's it for now. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.